So you keep overspending, but you want less stuff. It's the age-old thing, okay? You don't know how you got to this stage. When you look around your flat, it's just so cluttered and it's stressing you the F out, right? And maybe you don't have much money saved at all. You might be in your 30s, 40s, maybe just in your 20s, and you feel like you're behind your peers in terms of saving, in terms of not getting on the investment track, and you want to change your ways this year, okay? I'm going to take you through the 5 top tips that you can do now to have less clutter in the future and, of course, save a lot more money quicker. The first tip is make spending inconvenient for yourself. So I want you to go on your phone now. So if you have Amazon, delete the credit card that's linked to it, because every time you go into Amazon, for example, it's just one click away from buying another thing you don't need. Do you ever get to the end of the month and you've spent like £200 or £300 on Amazon and you don't know where the feckin' money has gone to or what you've bought with that money? So if you make it very inconvenient to buy stuff, like deleting the credit card that's attached to it, so you have to physically type in the numbers every time you buy something online. Or same with ASOS, maybe you're a bit of a clothes addict. I've done a video on this recently, I'll pop it down below. If you delete the credit cards that are saved on your phone and saved on these websites, it will, make it very difficult for you to actually spend that money. Another way to do this is to only pay in cash when you're going shopping. Let's say you're going to meet your friend on Saturday, right? And she wants to go around town, go around the mall, right? And you're afraid you're just going to spend so much money on your card or leak into credit cards, which is even worse, right? So how about on those days you only bring cash with you? Maybe you only bring a £50 note and that will cover you for lunch and maybe like a little cute t-shirt or something you can buy. You're still allowed to have fun and you're still allowed to buy things that are very cute and, have a nice time, right? But it's when it goes into the hundreds or thousands or you're in credit card debt or you have so much stuff that you don't know what to do with it, that's when it's bad. So you need to start putting boundaries in place. And if you make it really inconvenient to buy stuff, let's say you walk into a shop, you see a dress that's £100. If you only have a £50 note in your purse, you can't physically buy that thing. So then you're putting a barrier there in between yourself and that thing that you don't need. Another rule that I like to go by is the 3-day rule. And I live by this, I swear to God. So if you see something online and it's quite expensive, instead of buying it there and then, let's say it's a lovely MAC coat that's like £200, right? Instead of buying it there and then, you wait 3 days, okay? And after 3 days, if you're still thinking about it, if you still feel like this is a need, that it's cold weather and I don't have a coat, then you will buy it for yourself after the 3 days. But if you feel after the 3 days you've forgotten about it, or you're like, well, I already have 3 other coats, I don't need another coat, then of course you don't buy it. It puts that time in place, so it's not an impulsive buy, it's not instant gratification, but you're delaying the gratification there, or else you're just putting some time in there to think rationally. The 3-day rule, you should really try it. Has anyone tried it before? Let me know down below if it has done you wonders like it's done for me. The second tip is maybe have a fun fund for yourself every single month. So let's say you have a bucket of £200 in your little budget, right? And you can put that towards miscellaneous fun anytime you want. So it may be with that £200 you buy a new pair of shoes in February, or maybe the next month you're like, hey, I want to go out for brunch an extra time or an extra 2 times, and that's your fun in March, okay? It can be whatever you want, but if you have a little pot of money that's just for fun and just for you, it makes you look forward to that month and makes you think about, hey, what do I actually need for myself? What do I actually want? Maybe you want to get your nails done, maybe you want to get a little massage for yourself and look after yourself. It's okay to do these things, but if you put a little bit of a boundary in place so that you don't go over or leak into credit cards or buy stuff that you can't afford, or step into a shop and be so overwhelmed that you just buy everything in there, okay? If you set boundaries for yourself, okay, you can still have fun, but put a little control in there so you don't go absolutely wild. You got to be realistic. You can't just go from £600 1 month spending and then going down to £0 a month. It's usually never going to work out and you're just going to throw your budget away and never do it again. If you're more realistic, you're more likely to actually achieve the things you want to achieve. So this third tip I think is great, and when I heard it I was like, hell yeah, I'm up for this one. So this one is try and find a home for something before you buy it. So let's say you walk into Zara home section and they've the nicest stuff in there. They've got bowls, they've got vases, they've got stunning kitchen stuff, right? Before you buy it, in your mind, you're like picking up this bowl and you're like, okay, where am I going to put this large bowl? And if you can't find a home for it in the space that you have, you don't buy it. Now, if you like to have a minimalist life, this is the best trick to do that, okay? I try and have as little stuff as possible in this room now. I have some things like my art easel because I paint every now and again, and we've got some plants and some art. I do need more art on the wall, I'm aware of that, but I try and keep things very simple. And I follow this rule when I go into a shop too. So the next time you buy something, ask yourself the question, A, where will this live in my home? And B, does it align with the type of lifestyle that I want? If you're trying to have less clutter, you shouldn't be buying about 10 things in the next shop that you go into, okay? So it's just about pausing and thinking about what you need for your home, what kind of life that you want to live, and hey, could this money be used elsewhere in a better way? The next rule is also genius. It's one in, one out. So it helps to declutter your space by getting rid of one thing before you bring another thing in. Now this can count for clothes. So let's say you've got 10 pairs of jeans, right? But maybe you only wear about 2 of the jeans day in, day out because they're your favorite jeans, okay? So the other 8 jeans, you can either sell them on places like Vinted, like Depop. I've used loads of times and I've got hundreds of pounds from that. It's been great, right? Or, you know, you could give a pair of jeans away to a charity shop or to a friend. You can do clothes swaps with friends. Like, they're really good crack. All you do is like line up all your clothes with some friends, you know, get your friends over. They can bring clothes too, and you guys can swap out stuff, you know? You don't have to buy a new thing, but you can exchange your jeans for a cardigan or a cute dress. But the one in, one out rule is great because it doesn't let you buy something until you get rid of something. So if you can't get rid of anything, then maybe you don't buy anything in the first place. But either selling it or swapping it out before you buy something new will again put that pause in place to make you think about, do I love this item enough to let go of it? If I love it so much I don't want to let go of it, then I shouldn't be buying more stuff because I have things that I already love and use a lot. So a good task that I'm going to give people now is to do a bit of an inventory check of what you have in your house right now. And let's start with clothes, right? Because clothes is always the biggest killer for us girls, same with guys, right? So go into your wardrobe this evening, okay, and count how many pairs of jeans do you have? Do you have 10? Do you have 20? Or do you have a more realistic 3? Count the amount of t-shirts, the amount of jumpers that you have. If you're counting clothes that are going into the hundreds, you know for a fact you have too much stuff there. You don't need 100 bits of clothes or more than that, okay? And try and have a bit of a capsule wardrobe instead. You know, do you mainly just live in the same 3 t-shirts on rotation? Do you mainly just wear the same 2 pairs of jeans and 2 jackets? Do you need all the other stuff there? So check your inventory now, and maybe the one in, one out rule is best for you going forward. The 5th tip is to make savings automatic and visual. So if you really struggle with savings, maybe you're waiting till the end of the month after you've spent your money on all the fun stuff and you just save the remainder. You're doing stuff very backwards there, right? You need to pay yourself first. So let's say you get paid 3 grand in the month and that's your salary, right? As soon as you get paid that the first of the month, that's when you should be taking money from your checking account and popping it into a savings account. If you put this on automatic payments so that it automatically comes out every month, you don't have to think about it, and it makes it really consistent. You'll always save that money there. But also having something like a visual tracker is great. So you can literally get, you know, a very cute mood board. If you want to buy a home and that's your goal, right? You could create a mood board with houses that you love, interior that you love, stick it on the wall, and maybe you're starting from 0 of a savings point, and that's okay because you're going to start today. You're going to start saving today to get to that goal, right? And if the type of home that you want, maybe you want a 1-bedroom flat in London, okay, that will cost you probably at least 300 grand, if not more, which is crazy, right? But you might need 10% deposit, so that's 30 grand. You might need to pay stamp duty, which is this amount of money. You will also need to pay solicitors' fees. So whatever that total money is, let's say it's 40 grand in total that you want to save, okay? And you get paid 3 grand every month, okay? If you try and save £500 every month, it will take you this amount of time to get to that £40,000 goal. Or if you can maybe get a little bit of money elsewhere, like walk neighbours' dogs, like maybe learn to edit videos on the side and get a little bit of income there. Or maybe just cut down on spending. Stop spending so much on clothes, stop spending so much on takeaways, and that remainder, that difference there, you can throw into your savings pot to reach that goal of buying the home that you absolutely would love. Having something visual like a mood board is very helpful for a lot of people who are more visually inclined. If every morning you wake up and you see that goal of, hey, I need to reach 40 grand to reach this cool lifestyle that I really want, and maybe this month you're at £1 grand, and then next few months you're at 2 grand, and then you're slowly building it up, and put that in a little bar chart for yourself on the wall so you can see the progress every time you look at it. That will give you such motivation and prevent you from from spending money on crap that you don't need, but to actually reach your goals instead. So what are your guys' goals for 2025? Are they monetary? Are they, hey, I want to buy a property? Or is it like, hey, I want to move abroad to New York and that's my big goal? How much money do you need to get there? Let me know down below what your biggest money goals are. For me personally, I want to try and invest a little bit more every month where I can. When I first started out when I investing, I was only 30, which is about 3 or 4 years ago now. So I was late to the game, but I put in £100 every month to start with. And then I grew to £200 a month and then to £300 a month. And now I want to try and get to a space where I fully, it's not happened yet, but fully try and get to that 20 grand mark every year, which is the amount that you can put in tax-free in the UK without paying any tax when you take out the investments later in life, right? Now, I'm nowhere near that goal, right? But that was going to be my goal for the next few years, is to try and slowly but surely build up my investments pot to get to a place where I get, free money and interest, that'd be great. So let me know your money goals below. I'm super interested. So if this video has helped you, I'm going to pop 2 videos here are along similar themes and will hopefully help you on your journey. Thanks guys. I tend to post 2 videos a week, so if you're into this sort of thing, feel free to subscribe. It would really help the channel out, and I'll see you soon. Bye.